A podcast? Did your radio show get canceled?
Fire. Low down and filthy, but the discipline is on point. Schooled myself, made my own dojo. A cold flow with the whole dose of soul. Maintain composure, even in fury. An anomaly, properties undiscernible.
This week on the Pete the Planner Show, more of your money questions answered. See, that's what the show's about. You email us, we answer your questions. Or you can tweet us your questions, we'll answer your questions. Or you don't call us.
Please don't call us.
Don't ever call us. Hi, Nicole.
Hi, Pete.
I'm excited. Later in the show, we're going to bring on intern Aaliyah, talk about a financial concept that every young person needs to understand, and every old person, and we'll do that in segment 2. But first, here's what's on the show this week, Nicole. Segment 1, we're going to talk about Medicare.
Woohoo!
It's funny, like we're trying to bring Aaliyah, a college student, up to speed on mortgages.
I know.
But we're trying to bring, young 20-something Nicole up to speed on Medicare.
It's a fun twist.
Man, it's a good time. Segment 3, we're going to talk about a guy just sold a home, has another home, wants to know if to pay off his mortgage with his proceeds from his other home. We'll talk about that. And of course, biggest waste of money of the week. Emails askpete@petetheplanner.com. Get your question answered. I'll either answer it on the air here, or it will appear in my USA Today column, or, Nicole, I'll ignore the email.
We do that. We don't like to, but...
Sometimes it happens. Okay, let's get started. Question number 1 is from a guy who lives in Delaware. I didn't copy down his name, and I'm not going to take the time to look right now. His name is, let's make it up. What are we going to call him? Denny from Delaware?
Well, I think of Wayne's World when I think of...
Call him Wayne.
Well, call him Wayne.
Wayne, it was Wayne, it was Garth Agar, and Wayne...
Oh, shoot.
Campbell, no.
Wayne Campbell. That's
Was that
it.
right? Wayne Campbell? Okay.
Hi, I'm in Delaware.
All right, Dear Pete, I live in northern Delaware. I'm 64 and trying to, you know what? I'm going to be honest. I have no idea where Delaware is. I mean, I do,
but
I don't know in relation to the jumble out there.
I know it's not all the same.
I'm looking it up, which is good for radio, and even better on PeteThePlanner.tv because you'll probably get a good shot of my bald spots. Do you know? Okay, we're going to have a little quiz here. I know we're supposed to be answering financial questions. Our executive producer back at the station is going to probably have what's called an air check that has to do with this particular episode, which means I get in trouble. All right, Nicole, Delaware.
Yeah.
Is it east of Baltimore?
No.
You're incorrect.
Oh, where is it?
Nicole, is New Jersey east of Delaware?
No.
Wrong again.
I told you I have no idea.
This is how, you know what? I would get 0 of these wrong. Is New York...
You would get 0 of them wrong?
That's right. Wait, all of them wrong.
I was going to say, I was like, what?
Okay, now this is a tough one. Is New York City north or south of Delaware?
Oh. Is it north?
New York City is north of Delaware, but I would have said south.
Well,
Absolutely would have said south.
I was going to say, I'm trying to think of where it is in comparison to New Jersey.
You know, it's always people are like, oh, the East Coast are the elites, and they're rude to the Midwest. This is a Midwesterner, as you can see by my build, that is being rude to the East Coast right now, because I have no idea where Delaware is, but it seems like a lovely place.
Does anyone really have any idea where Indiana is within the Midwest?
I think I've been to Delaware. Haven't I? No one cares. Okay. This gentleman is 64 and trying to figure out when to retire. Good. Glad you emailed. The immediate question I have is if my spouse has not worked sufficient hours to earn Social Security, is she still entitled to Medicare? She's considerably younger than me at age 52, and the gentleman emailing is 64.
Yeah, she is.
Oh, I feel you, pal. Look at you. Not creepy now, but, when you're 24 and she's 12, you're kind of a weirdo.
Do some math.
That's gross. But, you're a grown man now. Well, at what point does that stop being gross?
I don't know, because...
Is it like 30 and 18? Because that still seems a little intense for me.
Right, because isn't one of the Olsen twins married to someone significantly older than her, too?
Have I told you my Olsen twin story?
Yes, you have.
Okay. So she's considerably younger at age 52, and I worry about her getting health coverage between the time I retire, somewhere between 66 and 70, and the time she's eligible. Any thoughts? Lastly, while I think we have a good mix of owning a home, several 401ks, some cash and stocks besides my Social Security, who would be the right type of planner to work with to help me to understand my income and options at age 66, 68, and 70? All right, Nicole, do you want to do this Hollywood Squares style where you take a stab, or not so much?
Not so much.
Okay, so here's the deal. Do you know what Medicare is?
No, it all seems like it's the same.
Okay, Medicare is it's a social service that provides health care for you, generally post age 65.
Okay.
You pay a tax on your paycheck that I pay you.
Oh,
that
yeah,
you
you do.
earn, I shall say.
Uh-huh.
Every 2 weeks, when you get paid, you pay a tax of Medicare. You pay 1.45% of your total wages.
Yeah.
On the first 200 grand of your wages, and then after that. So that's the that's what's up. Okay, so you pay 1.45% of your salary towards Medicare, which will provide you health care when you turn 65. And there's other points of eligibility too. But I guess one of the bigger points for this gentleman's question, who we're calling Wayne Campbell, is that you have to, in order to be eligible to receive Medicare and Social Security for that matter, you have to work 40 quarters or the equivalent of 10 years.
Okay.
I always think that's,
Wait.
go ahead.
Okay, so I have a question.
Yeah.
When they say that Social Security will run out, or that this will run out, how does it run out when it's my money that I'm putting in and I'm 24?
Yeah.
How is it running out? I guess that's my thing, is it's like one of those, are other individuals using the money that I'm paying right? So
look, this is where people are going to get so angry. Every time I say what I'm about to say, people get angry, but I'm just using to describe the concept. If I were to say the P word on the radio, Ponzi scheme.
Ponzi scheme.
A Ponzi scheme works this way. You invest, and then you are paid back by other people's investments, not your own money, because your own money went to pay someone else. That is by definition of a Ponzi scheme.
Yes.
Your Social Security proceeds that you're paying into the account, it's not put into a lockbox. Do you remember, you're I don't know if you're old enough to remember, during the election, Al Gore, George Bush back in 2000, there was this big debate over the use of the term lockbox, where Al Gore said he wanted to take your Social Security tax that you pay, which is at this year 6.2% on your first $128,000. He wanted to take that money and put it into a lockbox for you, Nicole Frank Owski. And so in doing that, then it sort of takes away that Ponzi
scheme
feel, but it's not a Ponzi scheme. I just use it to describe it that way.
Yeah.
So that is to say, Nicole, when people say Social Security is running out of money, what it's saying is that it's essentially taking too many current payers to fund the recipient's retirement income.
Okay.
And so what gets scary is you will have paid in for 45 years by the time you're eligible for Social Security, and the math doesn't support that there'll be enough money in there to continue to pay you, although it's considered to be some sort of special obligation that has to be paid. And now I'm way above my pay grade.
I was just going to say, and now I can't say anything else because I'm going to get way too in the weeds.
Okay, so let's actually answer Wayne's question.
Okay.
So Medicare, again, is sort of a retiree's health care that they're eligible at, generally speaking, at 65. However, if you end up being married to someone and you did not work 40 quarters, but that person worked 40 quarters, you get the spousal benefits of both Social Security and Medicare, but you're not eligible for Medicare until you're age 65. So our friend here, the 30-year-old marrying an 18-year-old, I'm sorry, that's a 64-year-old marrying a 52-year-old. See, same thing, less creepy. When he is of age, that doesn't mean that she will get Social Security, Medicare right away. So when he is 65, he will be eligible for Medicare Part A, and then he'll have to supplement with Part B or whatever. But she will not be eligible at age 53. She will have to wait until she is 65 to secure that coverage, which is to say the ugliest part of this answer, Nicole, and the part why Wayne is going to be upset, is that he and his wife Garth will have to fund healthcare out of pocket on the private exchange for 12 years. Ooh. And that's bad. I mean,
That's so heavy.
Yeah, I mean, one of the negative aspects, disadvantages, I don't know what you call it,
I like
realities.
disadvantages
Sure.
better, yeah.
Of having such an age gap going into retirement is that whereas one person is on Medicare and maybe cycles out of employment, especially if they're the breadwinner,
Yeah.
then you still must secure health care for the individual who has not achieved age 65, whether they're a working person or not. Now, if she was a working person, which it doesn't sound like she is from the email, or not so much that she has health care benefits, then they're literally going to have to pay out of pocket for 12 years for her coverage, which is going to be stinking expensive. And by the way, they should talk about all this with a financial advisor. So they just need to go to a fee-based financial advisor, generally speaking, or I happen to like fee-only hourly advisors, which we've talked about on this show, Nicole, which are tough to find. But Google, you found me on the internet, Wayne, so go find the Google machine and Google fee-only hourly advisor Delaware, and then like apostrophe, where's Delaware?
Where's Delaware? I did it yesterday for Indiana, so
You did?
yeah, you can find them.
Okay. So that's your answer. Coming up after the break, intern Aaliyah joins us to understand a word that so many people actually misunderstand. We'll see if she understands it next, right here on the Pete the Planner Show. Your money questions answered.
Stop what you're doing. Log on and hit Pete up on Twitter at Pete the Planner.
Primo beat, man. Kanye let this one go. Man. Sound good to me. I never question the right of any man to voice his opinion as strongly as any can. But then again, many men are citizens of their own little world, so they ain't really fitting in. I'm in the background blending in, camouflaged by the scenery, but I'm a champion. Revamp the camp again, put down my stamp again. Talk to my fans
Back
again.
on the Pete the Planner Show, your money questions answered. This segment, we are tackling a word that a lot of people don't know, and to help us understand this, or for us to explain this to, we welcome to the show our good friend, intern Aaliyah. Hello, intern Aaliyah.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good.
Oh?
She hesitated so much.
I mean, let's be honest. Over the last 40 years of my life, when I'm with someone and I say, how are you doing? I actually get that reaction a lot. Like,
Well, I just know you're about to give me a financial lesson, so
it's not that bad. I mean, you worked here a few weeks. Like, it's not bad.
You don't have a mortgage.
true.
Oh, thank you, Nicole. Let's introduce the segment. Nicole, what are we talking about?
You introduced it a couple, or you?
Did I?
Yeah, you let it slip.
Oh, we're talking about mortgages. So, Aaliyah, we talked about this in a meeting the other day, but just, act like you don't know. Or maybe you don't. Like, what's a mortgage?
That's like how you pay off your house.
It's how you pay off your house. That's actually the exact phrase you used in the meeting the other day.
Yeah, because that's all I know.
Okay, so what's strange about that is I have to admit, until I was a homeowner, which was age 22, I'm not too sure I knew exactly what a mortgage was. It's a term you hear your parents say a lot and you hear in the media, but you don't really know. But it is just a loan. It's a fancy word for loan, but only in home ownership. So here's the dictionary definition for y'all playing at home. It's a special form of secured loan where the purpose of the loan must be specified to the lender to purchase assets that must be fixed property, not movable like a mobile home, such as a house or a piece of farmland. Now, Aaliyah, to take this even further and to just blow your mind to levels which have never been blown, do you know the difference between a secured loan and an unsecured loan?
Actually, I really don't.
All right, Nicole, we're going to go to you.
No.
Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad we're talking about this.
You got so excited there.
I know, I get really excited. I'm sweaty though. I'm
It's
very
okay.
sweaty. Here's the thing, guys. A lot of people hear these terms and they don't know what they mean, and then they just continue to not know what they mean to
Yeah.
their own disservice.
Well, because everyone just thinks that we know everything because we got
Yeah.
the Google.
Right? And you can
Right.
even learn some things on Bing. Not much, though.
Not much. Maybe ask Jeeves.
Aaliyah, do you ever Bing anything?
I actually Bing a lot, like, cause a lot.
What?
Yeah, I love Google. I love Google, but like sometimes like Bing like finds me what I'm looking for like much faster. Like if I'm looking for like I don't know, like a certain song, like if I look up like lyrics of a song.
I'm going to Bing. I've never binged Pete the Planner.
Oh, we should do. Oh, you're doing it right now.
Okay,
Yeah.
binged Pete the Planner. Amazon is the first ad on Bing.
Do you have a book off Amazon?
Do I have a book on Amazon? Yes. And then PeteThePlanner.com. And then a recent tweet I put out of a man
See?
dancing. Who knows? Okay, anyway. A secured loan is generally secured by an asset. So like when you have a mortgage, it is secured by the physical home itself. Like if you default on the loan, they're okay, the bank, your lender, because what do? They take your home.
They take it.
Right? So an unsecured loan is a loan that is not secured with what is called collateral. You've heard the term collateral.
Yeah.
It means what is securing the loan. If there is a no collateral, then it is an unsecured loan. So if a mortgage was an unsecured loan, which it's not, but if it was, and you defaulted on it, you'd stay in your house because it's not collateral to the loan, but it wouldn't be a mortgage. It doesn't make any sense. Like a student loan, okay, tricky question here. Aaliyah, this first one goes to you. Is a student loan a secured or unsecured loan?
I would say that it's unsecured because it can't take away your education that you already got.
You know what? I believe that is correct. I'm actually Googling it because Bing does a student loan secured or unsecured. I feel like the answer is secured, but it would seem like your answer is better. But for some reason, a car loan and a mortgage are the most common defaults of secured loans. An unsecured loan is not protected by any collateral. The most common types of unsecured loans are credit cards, student loans, or personal loans. So I knew that, but for some reason, I thought they were going to say, I don't know. I don't know why I hesitated on that one. That seems pretty obvious, doesn't it, everybody? I think so.
Yeah, I was just saying.
We both got distracted as we heard it start to rain outside.
Yeah.
Oh, is that rain?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
rain.
No, I thought someone was yawning.
I'm so glad I brought my raincoat today.
Is that where your head is right now?
Yeah,
on
I
that?
was like, oh my God, thank God I brought it.
I was just thinking that too. I was like, as we're sitting here doing a show, I was like, God, I wonder if Aaliyah has a raincoat now that I know it's raining.
And I 100% do.
Do you guys want to know? I mean, everyone sort of laughs about this. What mortgage means and its etymological roots. Do you want to hear that? Do you care?
Yeah.
It's from Anglo-Norman, also Middle French, from Old French, and it literally translates to death pledge.
Oh my God.
Mortgage.
Oh.
Mort means death.
Yeah,
Pledge
mort.
means gidge. Yeah, think
So
about
you're
that.
like paying off your house until you die.
Yeah, so a mortgage, oftentimes, I guess we should get to the meat of this thing. The most common form of a mortgage now is a 30-year mortgage. So, Aaliyah, that is to say, if you were to go buy a house upon graduation at some point in time, it is likely that the bank or the lender or the mortgage broker will say, yeah, we'll help you buy a house. We will loan you the money. The loan is called a mortgage, and you have to pay us back over a 30-year period. Here is your amortization table, which tells you what you must pay us and how much of that payment goes to pay us back and how much of that payment goes to pay us interest for your right to borrow the money. Does that make sense?
It does.
Did it stop making sense at any point?
Well, like can you like change it? Like if you start later in life, like making more money and you're like, I could pay off my house faster. Could you change that?
Okay, now that's a good question. Nicole, is that not a great question?
That is a good question.
Yay.
Number one, of course, yes. You can always pay it off a loan faster than the amortization table,
Okay.
right? Or you can get a shorter loan, or you could refinance to a shorter loan. So, right, 30 years typical. I happen to like, because I'm a nerd, so I happen to have favorites. I like a 15-year mortgage. Like that's what Mrs. Planner and I have on our home. It's a 15-year mortgage, which we're a few years in. So I think I got like 11 years left or something like that. Because then it'll be done out of my way, and then I can just focus on other things in my life, and it is paid off, and it is done. But what a lot of people do is they don't view a home as an asset that they can own outright. They just view a mortgage as a payment, as like it was a rent payment. Like you're just trying to afford the payment
Yeah.
and not own the asset. And that's where people get in trouble.
I have another question.
Please do. You have 20 seconds.
Okay, so like, are you allowed to move in between, like before you pay off your mortgage? Like, can you do that?
Absolutely. So what happens is the people who buy your house ideally are paying you more than what your mortgage is worth. And then at closing with the sale of the home, the big check that the people buy, usually coming in the form of a mortgage from another bank, goes to pay back your mortgage, and you get to keep the rest, which are called the proceeds.
Cool.
All right, coming up after the break, we're going to talk more about mortgages, someone specifically, right after these words. I am Pete the Planner, and these are your money questions answered.
Yeah. Axe hand on the beat. Yes, sir. Glass House. Yes, sir. Mr. Kinetic, Rusty Redenbacher. ATFU. Naptown. Yeah. Peace to Fetty and Fredo. Helicopter choppers. Yeah, y'all ain't hip yet. Cashing in like the end of the game at the casino. I lean so the glare of the rear view don't hit me. Swiftly through the avenues and boulevards. Old soul playing on my speakers. Old soul but young in age, a boss player. Not from the Himalayas, but my fam gave me Gary, Indiana game. Grew up around the country.
Back on the Pete the Planner Show. I'm Pete the Planner. So we named the show correctly. It's your money questions answered. If you miss any part of the show, go to PeteThePlanner.com and you can find the podcast of the show. You can go into iTunes if you like. You can go to PeteThePlanner.tv where you will see all the great work that Aaliyah does, our wonderful intern. And you get to watch the show if you're into doughy Midwesterners. That seemed a little harsh on myself, don't you think, Nicole?
I do. I was going to say, how many days in a row are we now?
206 days in a row will be today that I've worked out.
Yeah, no more soft boys.
Yeah. Ted says that I'm a big hairy man. And not a soft boy, Ted being my 6-year-old. So
that is his DJ name, though, one day.
Yeah, soft boy.
Soft boy.
With an I.
With an I. Yeah.
The next question here on the show. Hello, Pete. Nicole, I noticed we did not put the people's names on the segment. Did I not send those?
I don't know.
Hello, Pete. I currently have a 30-year fixed rate loan on a single family home. Aaliyah, what is another name for a 30-year fixed rate loan? A mortgage, that's right. In the amount of $403,000. I just retired at age 69. Last year, I sold my other house and have a net profit of $550,000. This guy's writing is really sing-songy, is it not?
It is. I kind of like it, though.
Like the sentence length is the same. I just retired at age 69. Last year, I sold my other house at $550,000. Should I pay off my current mortgage or invest the money? I would appreciate any advice. I spell advice wrong.
Advise.
Turn her, Frank, hit the mic on there. What did you say there, Aaliyah?
I said that they spell it like the European way, how they do like S's.
Oh, that's true. Maybe he's a Euro.
Huh.
Is that rude? Is that a pejorative for Europeans to call him a Euro? I don't know. Okay, so we'll call this guy Gary. Gary sold a home for $550,000. At least that's his net profit, and he owes $403,000 on his current mortgage. He's retired at age 69. What should he do? This is very similar to a question that our lead financial concierge, Damien, answered at PeteThePlanner.com, our blog this week. Nicole, I assume you saw that.
I did.
You helped put that into the newsletter this week, which people can sign up for at PeteThePlanner.com.
Please.
Do we have to say it's a free newsletter, or is that
it's a free newsletter. I don't know.
There are a lot of paid investment newsletter.
Yeah, and there's I don't know, it's like a webinar.
Let's be weird here. If someone were to be charged for our newsletter, which you get 52 of them, what do you think what would we charge a year for people to get that information? Is each email worth $1?
I don't know.
I mean, no offense, but
right?
I don't know. I know you write them. They're great and all.
Thank you. I know. I was gonna say I like them, but I don't even know if I would pay for them.
I mean, that's the thing. Investment newsletters, people are like, oh, well, this will make a bunch of money on these investments. Our newsletters, they're clever.
Right. Let us spit some knowledge at you.
What do you think, Frank? I mean, what do you think? There's a lot of ifs, ands, or buts here. I don't think there's a straight way to answer this question, although I'm going to go ahead and say anyone who moved from a home in which their net profit is over $500,000 and is able to secure a new loan of $403,000 without the use of the other $500,000, is it fair to guess, Nicole, that they're doing all right?
Yeah, they do an I.
They're doing fine, right? So I don't know if it's going to matter one way or the other. I'm guessing this person's mortgage payment is, without knowing property taxes and insurance, $3,500 a month or so, $3,500 to $4,000 a month.
Yeah.
Probably $3,500 based on interest rate. But I would also say a 30-year fixed rate mortgage, my man will be 99 by the time the home is paid off.
Right.
And so that means he's going to, with a 30-year mortgage, be paying a lot of interest.
Part of me wants him to refinance that and get that down to 15 and then just pay it off and be done with it.
Yeah, I
because
mean,
why keep paying on something when you have no more income coming in?
Well, here's how you would, you're very close, if not 100% accurate here, because this is how you generally measure, should I pay off a loan versus keep the money as an asset or an investment?
Yeah.
You take the interest that you're paying on the loan and you compare it to the interest that you would be getting on the investment. So I don't know, let's test Aaliyah some more. Intern Aaliyah, how much money what interest rate do you think you would get? If you go to your bank and put money in your savings account, how much interest would they pay you for keeping money there?
Well, I get like 5 cents every year, so.
Okay, so not much.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's about less than 1% right now.
Okay.
Now, Nicole, you might know this. Mortgage rates right now, I mean, a 30-year fixed is about 4%.
Yeah,
Okay.
about
Actually,
that.
I'm wrong about that. Like current rates are like 4.75.
Yeah.
But let's just say this guy's got 4%. If you get to borrow money at 4 and you're only earning money at 1, Nicole, should you pay off the mortgage or should you keep the mortgage and take the 1% you're getting with your money?
No, pay it off. Because you're paying more. You're gaining more interest on what you owe rather than earning more interest on what you already have in the bank.
All things being equal, that is true. That is absolutely true. So generally, that is how you decide whether to liquidate an asset based on the rate of return it's getting versus, and using it to pay off a debt versus just keeping the debt and paying on it and paying on that interest rate. So that's how you would evaluate that. But here's the factor. What I think could make more sense is at least try to, if he doesn't want to wipe it out in one full swoop of $403,000 to the $550,000 in net proceeds, assuming that he's already set money aside for taxes if he has them, capital gains taxes on that other house. Because you do know if you sell a secondary residence, it's not your principal residence, your primary residence, you can owe tax on the growth of that asset. Nicole, that's one of the more frustrating things. People have a second home or vacation or whatever, and they sell it and they're like, oh, good, now I've got $150,000. No, you don't.
No.
You got to pay Uncle Sam.
Psych.
Aaliyah, we'll talk about it. Nicole and I did about a couple months ago, we did a tax episode
in
which we
did.
talked about all the sort of different taxes that you're going to be exposed to in your life. I think one of the more frustrating things is when you get into property ownership and your responsibilities to the government, to the municipality, revolving around that asset. Like you sold it grew in value because you invested in it, but you then owe tax because it went up in value when you sell it. I mean, that's a frustrating concept.
Yeah. I know some people, what they try to do to pay off their mortgage faster with their second home, when they're not there, they'll rent it out on like Airbnb or like
Sure.
Verbo, stuff like that to like help pay off the mortgage
Look at that.
faster.
It's the sharing economy. That's what they call it. You know, I don't know if we should do a full segment on the sharing economy. Airbnb. Would you and the boy ever Airbnb your little bungalow there, Frank?
No.
Yeah,
No.
I wouldn't either.
No
Like, I don't want
way.
people up in my stuff.
Right? I don't need anyone else sleep. I don't. No.
But on vacation, we'll do that. I mean, we do. Was it VRBO? Is that what it's called? Yeah, we do that for vacation. We go down to Hilton Head, and we're just staying in some dude's house. And I look through their drawers. He doesn't keep his undies there or anything. But
I feel like it's a little different though. If that's a vacation home, like because you're on an island like that, I feel like that's one thing if that's how you want to cash flow that. But just your home,
I don't want people, like, here's the two things that bother me the most. And this is maybe says a lot about me. Number one, I don't want people like in my underwear drawer, which sounds like there's something weird going on in there.
But I don't want people snooping around my stuff.
Okay, so maybe that's just more representative of snooping around my stuff. But number two, I don't want people using my spoons. Like forks, I don't know, because it's more teeth activity.
Yeah.
Like a spoon, like you're you're intimate with that spoon trying to get the peanut butter off or whatever you're consuming. And I feel like I don't want to be intimate with that same spoon.
No.
Probably not.
No.
Right?
That makes it sound so much
There's
worse.
so many things that I am not
Spoons are
taking into consideration.
Personal. Like, I'm sure, like, what's a dishwasher detergent? Comet?
Yeah.
Comet's probably pretty great, but can it desanitize the intimacy of a spoon?
Okay, well now
I don't
I have to bring all of my silverware to like when I go to like a suite or something like that.
A suite? What kind of suites are you going to?
It was in South Padre for this past spring break. Me and my friends went down there, and then like it was like a suite. It was like a 2-bedroom suite, but like
I
it
would
was like
never
that.
use a utensil at a hotel room.
Well, like they have like a maid service that like comes in and like cleans it.
It's the
like, whole
bougie
place.
spring break.
It really was. I have to admit, I saved a lot of money for it.
Spring bougie, as they call it. No one calls it that. So anyway, what do we call this guy? Gary, I think it really depends on how you plan to invest that $550,000. If you plan on putting it into the market or something that has a higher fixed rate than what you're paying on your mortgage, then don't pay off your mortgage. I think probably the more sensible thing to do would be to take some of the 550, pay down the mortgage a bit, and then tighten up the loan terms so that you can decrease the amount of interest you're paying, not only because you're paying less or you've borrowed less money because you've paid down that loan, but because the rate itself is lower. Those are the two ways that you pay less mortgage interest. You decrease your loan from 403 to say 203, and then instead of paying 4.75%, because Aaliyah, just so you know, when you go from a 30-year mortgage to a 15-year mortgage, since you're borrowing money over a shorter period of time, it costs less to borrow that money. So it's usually what we call about 75 basis points less, which means 0.75% less. So if to borrow money for a 30-year mortgage, they charge you for every outstanding dollar, they would charge you 4.75%. Then they would charge you 4% on a 15-year mortgage instead of a 30-year mortgage.
All right then.
Yeah. I'm just dropping the knowledge.
Yeah.
Here's what we're going to do. Speaking of dropping the knowledge, we're going to come back after the break and do biggest waste of money of the week. If you want to hear your question on next week's show or at PeteThePlanner.tv, go to Ask Pete at PeteThePlanner.com. Ask your questions. Frank will grab it, put it in the show, and boom, bam, boom. At least we're not talking to you on the air. All right, coming up after the break, biggest waste of money of the week. I'm Pete the Planner.
Every day living through the peace of my soul, I remain whole, even in the middle of the pain. Even though my life has the rain, I still remain sane, writing and creating for my life. And my pen is my sword given by the Lord, and I use it to fight the tides of restriction. Sometimes I'm conflicted, find myself looking at the trees too much and can't see the forest. Enemy shall inherit the earth, and I want to inherit something other than the high blood pressure and diabetes. So work is what I gotta do. Stay true to my enemy and water the trees that I sing from, and look out for the lumberjacks. Running with the gale force wind at my back. Swift and enduring, I remain calm. Swift and enduring, I remain calm. Swift and enduring, I remain calm. This lays great errors to rest. Let me remain calm.
Back on the Pete the Planner show, we call it the PTPS. No one calls it that. Answering your money questions. That's what we do. If you want to ask us a question, here's the good news. We're going to answer it in both a serious and not very serious way. We will also put it on the air so you can hear your life exposed to tens of people. And also, what's the other bit? Oh, we're not trying to sell you anything. That's a good thing.
We don't sell you anything.
We got nothing to sell you.
I like that about us.
Speaking of selling things, what is this week's biggest waste of money? Well, Nicole and intern Aaliyah, it's the Hinder Scheme leather jigsaw puzzle. Frank, can we pop that up on the screen for those watching at Pete? There it is at PeteThePlanner.tv. They're best known for their monotone takes on classic sneakers. Now, Hinder Scheme is using their mastery of leather to create heirloom quality puzzles made from natural hide that will patina over time. Flat comes in 108 and 300 piece varieties depending on how much time you have to spare. Goes on sale June 2nd, which is a Saturday. at noon. So by the time this show airs,
It'll be live.
we will be live. So we will update the posting of like how much this costs. Because as of right now, there is no price for this situation. Nicole, what do you think? I'm going to try to find it as we're talking here. What do you think this thing's going to cost?
I say at least $250.
Do you have a guess, Aaliyah?
I'm gonna go with like $199.99.
Oh my gosh!
I feel like we're on
I
Price is
wanna
Right.
know. I want to know.
Because I'm so curious. Like, what do they have this leather adhered to? Like, is it just leather? Like,
Well,
is
that's
it
a good
literally a
question.
sheet of leather that they have made puzzle pieces out of?
I gotta know how much
Because
it's
there's
worth.
so much that
I'm
from
gonna.
a textile standpoint.
I'm going with $249.99, which basically is what Nicole's guess is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here's what we could do. We can go to their sneakers to see how much leather sneakers are to determine how much this is. Okay, hold on. We're doing some banging here. Everyone, relax. Shoes. Okay. Hinder scheme. Oh boy.
Oh my god.
boy.
So
They're sold at Barney's. And I don't mean the purple dinosaur that you want to punch in the face. I mean the upscale New York's. You don't like the violence of the dinosaurs? They all died out. They got hit by a meteor. I don't think me punching one in the face is going to do them harm. Okay. The color of what this puzzle will be, which is, Nicole, how would you describe that color? I would call it nude.
yeah, not quite eggshell, not quite taupe. It's a nice nude.
They retail for $427 for a pair of, I guess they look like low-top Chuck Taylors, yet leather. Oh my gosh. And I'm on another website here called End that's got a lot of their things on it. Oh, this is fascinating. Okay. So, but this is like, I assume End is going to be like overstock.com or something like that?
Maybe.
Holy cow. They've got Adidas versions of these sneakers for $999.
What?
They've got a leather pen case also in the nude leather,
Wait, how much is the pen case?
$129.
See, then I bet we're pretty spot on. I would maybe go like $300 for the puzzle, but I bet we're pretty close.
A pair of socks for $45 on sale for $25. Ooh, here is a loafer that looks like a Ked or a Van for those that are gleaming the cube. Retails for $855, $509. I've spent stupid money on things before. Is there something, Nicole, that the dumbest thing you've ever purchased? If you say my book, I'm going to be very angry.
Well, I've never purchased a book.
Boy. What do you think? I don't know if I'm willing to share what mine is, if I can even think of it, but
I don't even know. I don't think I've had, like, quote unquote, like money, like long enough to have bought anything stupid enough yet.
I'm not going to give the amount, but I know I spent an absurd amount on a pocket square once.
Oh, actually, here we go. No, I've got, okay, so.
So hot. It's a studio 1,000 degrees. Guys, you're going to read in the newspaper next week, personal finance expert dies of spontaneous combustion while recording a complaint session about leather. Don't bury the lead, but
there it is.
there it is. What do you think?
So in college, there was I didn't spend this money, but I spent a company's money, and it was really stupid.
Okay.
So I entered this contest on Twitter to win $1,000, a gift card to this company.
Sure.
This company was a t-shirt company that did the cute little pattern pockets on the front of it.
Okay, sure.
I won the $1,000 gift card.
You did?
I did.
How many t-shirts did it get you?
Like 30. I spent so much money.
But that's $30 a t-shirt.
I don't know.
Wait, do you still have these t-shirts?
No, and that's the thing is, it's like they were worn out, like $1,000, and that was freshman year of college, and they're gone.
Do you know what a pair of Hinder Scheme leather shoelaces cost at full retail price?
$180.
$49 for a pair of laces.
But what about when your aglet gets chewed off by your puppy?
They're right. Dogs are, man. If you have a dog, you better not own any Hinder Scheme. What do you think the Hinder Scheme nylon jet cap is? Because it's just like a hat.
Nylon.
It's nylon. It's not leather. What do you think?
$89.
$175.
Wow.
Ooh, I like this one. A Hender Scheme necklace that looks like. Remember when you're a kid and you make a necklace and you put Cheerios on it and you just eat the Cheerios?
Yeah, Fruit Loops maybe.
Like
if you're
that.
really feeling it.
If you're watching on PeteThePlanner.tv, you just saw all 9 of my chins. $155. It's a leather necklace, but then I think there's like leather Cheerios on it. But don't eat them.
This was leather accoutrements.
Man, there's another pair of black leather shoes here. The Manual Industrial Products 10. They look like Jordans. Like they like the number 3 or 5. Like back when I was a kid, they're $1,069.
Thank God you don't follow this brand on Instagram. You'd be in so much trouble.
Wow. Is that what you're saying about my ability to say no to Instagram to products?
You just love the Instagram products.
I've bought one Instagram. It may be
2.
5. Well, no,
at
same
least.
Product type.
Okay.
Man, you might have a point.
Did you get your fishing pole?
That's
off
all
of it?
we have time for this week on the Pete the Planner show. If you want to learn more about the show, don't come into our studio. It's so hot. Like, do we not pay the electricity bill
Well,
again?
our air is off.
Yeah,
Because
we have to do the show with the air off because otherwise you just hear.
And as appealing as that is,
Doesn't make for good radio. If you want to be on the show, you can't. If you want to have your email on the show, it can. Send him to askpete@petetheplanner.com. That's all we have time for this week. I'm sending you good vibes because good vibes are all that's in the budget. I'm Pete the Planner, and these are your money questions answered.
If you want to be on this podcast and have Pete fix your money life, then hit us up at PeteThePlanner.com/podcast. You heard me. PeteThePlanner.com/podcast.
Log on.
This is for information purposes only. It's not the Swiss financial planning device. Consult a financial advisor.
Released from Everest, the fresh is fresh, and you can call me E.T. Word to John Tesh. Let me bless this harmonic presentation. It's amazing, so amazing. I'm the reason. Salutations, I bring you love, drawing greetings from a faraway land. I am the sole controller. Put the remote down and let me take control. You're now a part of my zone, so enjoy yourself. Love-Tron can restore your health. I bring you greetings. Salutations, how you doing? And is that how y'all say it? The tinkling of the keys is an homage to the little star. I sojourn over poetic descriptions of sound to travel to my other world. Out of this world, spaceship on my arm took me home, fueled by the ink and the megabytes and the hypertext transfer protocol, stronger than the Skynet and the Terminator. I push faders into warp speed, glide with ease, creating a breeze they call a black hole. Event horizon, no rear view concerns. This I adjourn, and beats I burn. This I adjourn, and beats I burn. Salutations, I bring you love-tron greetings from a faraway land. I am the sole controller. Put the remote down and let me take control. You're now a part of my zone, so enjoy yourself. Love-tron can restore your health. I bring you greetings. Salutations, how you doing? And is that how y'all say it?